Portion Bamidbar, first portion in the book of Bamidbar, the fourth book, Numbers. We are today the sixth reading. Short. L'chaim. Okay. We are in chapter 3, verse 40. Yomer Hashem al Moshe. And Hashem spoke to Moshe, Pakoid, count. What does Pakoid mean otherwise? Who remembers?
What else?
I'm asking you.
No, what else? What?
Pakoid, Pekida. Huh? That's count. That's what it means here. Also means from yesterday, means, or 2 days ago, it means an appointment, that you have a position. A pakid is an appointed person to a position of authority, right? Why? That person counts. So pakid is called bechor. Now you have to count every bechor, firstborn. Yesterday we counted the Levites, the Levim. The Levim, there are 22,000 of them. Remember, the Levim are taking place of who? Firstborn. So now we're going to count the firstborn. So count the firstborn. Kol bechor, every firstborn, Zohar, male, Livnei Israel, to the children of Israel, Ben Chodesh Umayla, from 30 days, from a month old. The saw is Mispar Shemoisam, and take the number of their names. Rashi in 40. Pekoid, the Kol bechor Zohar, Ben Chodesh Umayla. Count to every firstborn male from 1 month up. Nishiyot Miklal Safik in the Nefalim. Rashi repeats this. I think he said it. I think he said it already in this parsha, if I recall. Meaning, why from a month? Because then you leave the category of what's called nefolim, which means a fetus. Even though it's born the first month, it's doubt. It's got to go through the first month to be considered a bar kayama, that it will last. Okay. 41, meaning that it's gonna live, right? That this will live. And take the Levites for me. Ani Hashem, I am Hashem. Tachas kol bechor. For I am Hashem. Tachas kol bechor, in the stead of every firstborn of Bnei Israel, of the children of Israel. Ve'ez behem as Levim. And take the Levites' animals. Tachas kol bechor. The hem is Bnei Israel, in the stead of the firstborn animals of the children of Israel. Verse 42, there's no Rashis on these, on several verses here. Yivkoid Moshe, well, what do you think Moshe did? He counted Moshe. Kasher tzivah Hashem, as Hashem commanded. I say him. It's called Bechor Bnei Israel, every firstborn of the children of Israel. Interesting, by the way. Rashi doesn't pick up on it. Maybe it's not a question on simple meaning, but when it came to counting children of Israel, who counted them? Moshe, Aaron, and the leaders of each tribe. I guess because it was all tribes. Maybe that's a simple meaning. It was all the tribes, so you had all the leaders, and so on. But here it's just the firstborn, so it's just Moshe. Think about the Levim also, it's just Moshe. So Moshe counted all the firstborns of the Bnei Israel as he was commanded. He called Bachor Zochar the Mispar Shemes, and it was the every firstborn male, the Mispar Shemes, in the count by name. Ben Chodesh Umayla, from a month old and upwards, according to their counting. Shnayim ve'esrim elef, 22,000. Shloisha v'shivim u'masayim, and 273.
So we have a very odd number,
right?
As opposed to 500, 300.
Yeah, first time, right? And the Levim, how many were the Levim, by the way? Anybody remember how many the Levim were?
50,000.
22,000. So this is 273 more, right? Got it? And what's the...
Yesterday, they said it was 300 more. Then they changed it to 273. We were concerned about that. We didn't know the answer.
Kind of remember from yesterday now, but
Was that case, guys?
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. Basically,
That was yesterday. Oh, yeah.
okay. Anyway, maybe we'll look at it and we'll try to figure out afterwards. Okay. Okay. So, Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe Lemar, and Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying, Tach is a Levim, Tach is called Bechor ben Bnei Yisrael. Take the Levites, the Levim, in the stead of every firstborn of the children of Israel. There's Behemoth Levim, Tach is Behem Tom, and the animals of the Levites in the stead of their animals of the Bnei Israel. V'hoyu li Levim ani Hashem, and they will be for me the Levites. I am God. Rashi in 45. As behemoths Levim, the animals of the Levites. Like Pada behemoths Levim as bechari behema tahira shel Yisrael. The animal Levites did not redeem the firstborn of the pure kosher species animals belonging to the Israelites. Ella as pitrei chamarehem. In other words, this was not coming to be, kosher animal for kosher animal. But only those that emerged from the wombs of the donkeys. Shall ben Levi, and one sheep of the Levite, could exempt many of the first to emerge from a donkey which belonged to Israel, non-Levites. Teda, with certainty that this is so. Because we see that the non-Levites that were more firstborns, 273 more firstborns, right? That were among the firstborns that were more than the Levites. There we see that there was juxtaposition, there was an accounting for it. But when it comes to the excess of the animals, there was not a count. But as we're going to see, that you have to exchange one firstborn for one Levite, right? And we have the extra, and then that will be dealt with.
excuse me, brother.
But let me finish the thought, and let's follow. I don't see anybody here. Everybody, let's follow the point. All right. If you're looking inside, you will not follow the point that we're making right now. You might follow something else, but you won't be learning in what we're learning in the moment. So just a strong suggestion that it's helpful for the process of learning to just follow what's being taught in the Rashi in the moment. So I'm trying to explain to you what Rashi is saying over here. Okay, without looking into Rashi right now. Okay. David?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what's happening over here is we don't see that the extra animals, there are a lot of extra animals, firstborn animals, because we're talking about all the Israelites owning firstborn animals. And we don't see the exchange, right? What does that mean? It's not one for one. When it comes to the Kohen and the Levite, it's one for one. So if it's a Rashi saying, because one sheep will suffice to be in the place of many firstborn donkeys. The verse doesn't say that, right? It doesn't sound necessarily that's what the verse is saying. It's saying a Levite animal for a Israelite animal. But we don't see, there's going to be a lot of Israelite animals firstborn that are going to be many more than the Levites firstborn. So what is it talking about over here? It's very unclear. So Rashi is explaining, because we already know the concept that your donkey firstborn, you have to give it to the tribe of Levi, to the Kohen, but that's from the tribe of Levi, right? From the tribe of Levi. And we already know that concept, right? That has already been told us already in the book of Exodus that you have to do that. So, what is the exchange over here? The exchange, it can be one sheep for many firstborn donkeys from the Israelite, that you're going to take one sheep and give it to the Levite, right? In the stead of tribe of Levi, which is going to the Kohen, right? And instead, is that clear?
And can I ask how many are we talking about?
No, Rashi is saying that we don't see that the Torah speaks about it, so we don't know. But one thing we know for sure: the amount of firstborn that will be from the Israelites is going to be massively more than will be, right? But the Torah doesn't speak about it. So then Rashi is concluding that it's in reference to the donkey firstborn, and that you give a sheep to the Kohen instead of the firstborn. You redeem it to a sheep and give the sheep to the Kohen. That's from the tribe of Levi, right? It's here in the reference to Levite, and that's what it's speaking about over here.
Does that mean that they're keeping the donkey and giving
Yes.
the sheep up instead?
Yes, exactly.
So one of the questions that came up yesterday was that the 273.
But that's the 273 is not about donkeys. That's about Kohanim, right?
What we're saying is that it's a similar idea in a sense.
Yes.
That out of 22,000
Levites
that were there,
Levites
that were there, then there were a lot more firstborn.
Oh, 273 more. And wait, let's learn. We're going to see what's going to happen. Firstborns were 22,273.
Firstborn was 22,000.
Yes, 273. We just learned that. We just learned that. You didn't, huh? So there's
How many Levites were?
22,000.
They all weren't firstborn.
A Levite's not a firstborn. A Levite is a Levite. A Levite means comes from the tribe of Levi.
So out of the 22,000, only 273 were firstborn.
No. Wait. Let's. Why are you going further? Then let's learn.
There was a discussion yesterday.
Well, I know, but you know what? Our problem. Everybody's looking in the book and not listening when we're explaining something. You're not being focused on what being present. Be present in what we're learning, and you'll see how things unfold. You have to allow the Chumash to unfold. Okay? So you have a question. Let's see how Torah is going to address it. Okay?
I'm putting my phone away.
Take the booklet.
No, it's okay. It's the same thing.
Okay. Now let's look at this next verse. It's speaking about the excess now. Ves piduyi hashloisha uvashivim umasayim. As for the 3 and 70 and 200, which is 273 extras or piduyi, right? 273 that were required redemption, ha'oifim that are extra, ala levim over the Levites, the bachor ben Israel from the firstborn of the Israelites, of the Bnei Israel, right? What's with them, right? Now the verse is addressing that extra, right? In other words, we shouldn't have gone there until the verse takes us there. Okay? Now the verse is taking us there. If the verse wouldn't take us there, so then we have a question. What happened? What's going on? So Rashi told us in the previous verse, it's not going to take us there when it comes to the animals. Because the verse is not going to speak about the extra animals, that there were more Israelite firstborn animals than Levites first. So he explained that, as we just explained the previous one, right? Peduya shloisha As for the redemption of the firstborn of 273 extras, and that's a Bechoros Hatzrichon Lipados, the firstborn who would need to be redeemed by him among them, Elush Loisha Veshivim Wasaim, the 273, Ha'itfim by him that are in excess among them, Yisir and Malalim, that are over and above the number of Levites. Mehem Tikach, so what you shall do, from them you shall take Chamishas Shkolim Legolgalas, 5 shekel per head. Why 5 shekels? Right, that's going to be the redemption of the firstborn. Hey, by the way, firstborn, that's what the redemption is today, right? That's how we redeem a firstborn, because the firstborn still belongs to God. So you have to redeem it on the 30th day, right? Why the 30th day? Because that's when they would be now counted as a Levite, they would be counted as the Levites were counted. In other words, the ones who serve count from 30 days, right? So you're counting from 30 days. And 5 shekel. Why 5 shekel? Because Yosef's sale was 5 shekel. Esrim kesef, 20 silver pieces. It was the first, and he was the firstborn of Rachel. And therefore, Torah sets it in according to that. Is that clear? Yes? Hello? Not clear.
5 shekels because that's what they were paid for Joseph.
That's what they were paid for Yosef. So, in other words, the redemption, to redeem, in others, to redeem.
Joseph was sold. They sold them 5 shekels.
They sold them for 5 shekels. That's what we just said. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Redeem.
So therefore, you want to redeem the firstborn. So they're redeemed for 5 shekel. 47 in the pasuk, but l'kafta chamesh shkolim. You'll take 5 shekels. The golgolas for each head, the shekel hakodesh of the holy shekel. Tikach esrim gera shekel. You shall take 20 gera a shekel. So 20 gera make up a shekel. V'nasata like.
Another word for redeem. 5 shekels.
In what? In English?
What's another word in English for redeem?
Exchange. And you'll give that money to Aaron and to his sons, by hand, which is the redemption, the exchange for the extra of them being the Israelites. And Moshe took the money. He took the money for the redemption from those who were extra upon for the redemption of the Levites. In excess for those redeemed by the Levites, meaning over and above the Levites, that they became the redemption in flesh, right? For 22,000, it was person for person, flesh for flesh, right? The extra 273, there wasn't 1 for 1 left. So therefore they had to redeem themselves with 5 shekel.
A little bit confused. The 22,000, is that 22,000 firstborn or?
No,
22,000
Levites.
Total
Levites. So
the 22,000, you're saying that how many firstborn were there? There got to be more than 273. The 273 is extra over what?
Oh, more
How
firstborn.
many firstborn were born?
22,273.
All the Levites were firstborn?
No. How to make what how do you say that?
Yeah.
How do you say that all the Levites, does that make sense that all the Levites would be firstborn? Levites are from the tribe of Levi. Can they all be firstborn? Obviously not. So we're talking about Levites. We're not talking about
how many firstborn?
that's irrelevant for the moment.
We don't know that.
That's it, but that's irrelevant at this moment. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant for this
So
moment.
why are 273 so important?
because there were firstborns were extra. Who's going to redeem them?
Extra-
Over the Levites.
Being redeemed,
There were,
right?
Here, Shimon Levi, follow my hands. This is a tribe of Levi. Tribe of Levi, there were 22,000. That's 22,000. You got it? That's called 22,000.
Firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn.
Born.
fourthborn.
Yeah, 10th born, right? All the tribe of the Levites.
Right.
Okay? Now, firstborns were 22,273. There's an extra finger here, right? So there's a problem over here because the whole point we're doing is they lost. This group over here lost the privilege of being the servant of God, right? They lost that privilege. They were involved in the sin of the golden calf. They lost the privilege. So there has to be an exchange, but they have inherent holiness in them because they're the firstborn. Why they have inherent holiness? Because God saved them in Egypt and didn't kill them and only killed the Egyptian. So there's an inherent holiness that they have to be offered to God, but they can't do it in practical, in functionality. So now you have to exchange. So you can exchange one for one, 22,000 for 22,000. But the problem is you got this left over. So what are you going to do with this? 5 shekel each head has to give. And that will be their redemption. That they no longer are, they redeem themselves from their inherent holiness, that they can't functionally use that inherent holiness because they lost that privilege. And therefore they will redeem themselves, those extra with 5 shekel. Is that clear now? Is that Shimon Levi, is that clear? Yes or no?
It's clear that they redeemed themselves for 5 shekels, but who did they redeem themselves to?
5 shekel.
For who? To who get?
The 5 shekel we just learned went to Aaron and his sons. Goes to
They give 5 shekels out to who?
Aaron and his sons. Yeah. Well, we just learned that. That was the previous verse.
They're considered to be.
Now they don't have functional holiness in them.
Oh,
They don't have functional because now they got redeemed, right? They got redeemed, so they don't have functional holiness anymore, right? Okay, let's go. But I want to finish first, and then if you don't mind, let's first finish so we get it finished, and then we can go back. Okay, let's go for the Eis Bechor 50. I'm sorry, but otherwise I'm afraid not to finish. And the Eis Bechor b'nei Yisrael, and from the firstborn of the children of Israel, Lakach is a kesef. He took the money. Chamisha b'shishim u'shloisha me'os ve'elef shekel hakodesh. How much is 1,365? So if you do 273 times 5, you'll get 1,365 holy shekel. Rashi. Okay. Let's see Rashi in 50. Chamisha b'shishim u'shloisha me'os ve'elef. 1,365. This is the total calculation. When you take 5 shekel per head, the 200 firstborn is 1,000 shekel, right? 200 times. He's doing the math for us over here. He's doing long math over here, right? This is the form of long math. 200 times 5 is 1,000. Shivim b'chayris shalish meyes. Shekel, and 70 times 5 is 350. Shekel, and 3 firstborn is 15 shekel. That's all. That's long math, right? Amar Moshe said, what should I do? A firstborn to whom I will say, Hein chamesh shkolim. Now we're going to get a little of an answer to Shimon Levi, but you were maybe a little bit concerned. But we have to allow the Torah to unfold, right? And if we have to really have a little patience and bittul, like to allow to just learn what's present, not what's simmering in our minds. Okay.
You see,
Wait, let's finish. Whoa. That was not an opening for you. I'm sorry I said that. Right. So Kate said, "Says, what should I do? Bachor she'emerli, when a firstborn to whom will say to me, Tein chamesh shkolim, give 5 shekel. Yomerli will say to me, Ani b'du levim, I will redeem myself with a Levite, and I won't give the 5 shekel. Ma'asa, so what am I should do? Hey, v'shnayim v'esrim elef b'sokim. He brought 22,000 tickets because of Alehem ben Levi, and he wrote upon them Levite. And he wrote 273 tickets because of Aleim Chamesh Shkolim, and he wrote on them 5 shekel. And he mixed them up, right? He made a raffle. And also Mikalapi, and he put him into a box. And he said to the firstborn, come and draw your ticket, the Fiagero, and be according to the lottery. Right? So it's going to be according to the lottery. Final verse for today, and then we can open up. Moshe gave the money for those who are redeemed to Aaron and his sons in accordance to the word of God, as Hashem had commanded Moshe. And what do we do today? We do the same thing. A child is born, first born to a non-Kohen or Levite, by the way. If you're a Levite, you're from the tribe of Levi. It means non-Levi. Levi, Kohen comes from Levi, right? From the tribe of Levi. Aaron is a Kohen, but he comes from the tribe of Levi. So anybody that is non-Kohen or Levi, their firstborn child, son, needs to be redeemed. You have to do it with 5 shekel. And where does the 5 shekel go? To the Kohen. Pesach, you wanted to share something?
They didn't actually, excuse me, they didn't actually
Okay,
know.
let's see, short.